Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? It's Power Plays Palace, man. We back again for another day, Wednesday, July 15th, 2026, man. It is an interesting day already in the market, so let's get down to it because I done had to redo this chart a couple times because of what's going on in the market currently. So let's look at the chart from yesterday. What we were looking at yesterday, that we had a pre-market high of 750.48 and a pre-market low of 747.37. If you remember, I put that chart up early, and so what ends up happening is before the market opens, after I put this chart up, SPY went crazy through the roof, and it kind of blew through a lot of the information that I had posted on that chart. And so what ended up happening is I don't even though SPY, it went up yesterday, it affected some of our levels, what happened in the pre-market. So let's take a look at it and see what we were talking about. What we were looking at yesterday was for SPY to we were looking at yesterday that if SPY was to get above 748, that would be a bullish day. And if it got below 747, that would possibly be a bearish day. Our targets were 750, 753, 756 if it just pushed past our target. And then if it didn't push past our target and it pulled down, we was looking for 747.37 entry. But we was looking at 746, 742, 744, and 740. So let's take a look at the chart and see exactly what happened with the SPY on yesterday. Okay. So as you can see on yesterday on the chart, SPY came in and opened up at around 750.86. It came up real briefly to 751, and really 751.73 where it came up to the top. Now if you open at 750.86 and go to 751.31, that's not a bad push up if you one of those quick scalpers. But then it pulled back to 748. After it did that, it went all the way up and it touched 753.35, which was the high of the day from yesterday during the day. Came back to 750, pushed back up 753 again, came down here to 749 area, 750, and then it pushed back up into 753, 752 area, but it was 753 area, this little range right here, and then it consolidated the rest of the day before it closed at 751.83. Now, as you can see, overnight it stayed in that general area, and then it pushed up, and then it opened up right around where it closed on yesterday. I mean, where the high of the day was yesterday, and then it did some consolidation briefly. Then it pushed all the way up here to 753.97, and then from there it started to pull back to it touch 752.23, and it pushed all the way up right now to 754.42. But if you're looking at this chart right now, you can see that it's possible that it could push past that before the market opens. It's like the third time I done started this video because it keep pushing past these levels. As you can see, every 5 minutes I'm on a 5-minute chart. Even if I was on the 15, it'll still be pushing past it. As you can see, it's currently pushing past my high levels, my chart levels. So hold on, while I'm here, let me move this up. While I'm here. All right. So the current high is 754.45. That was the high on that candle. So that's where we currently are. But let's look at the chart today before we make another high. You know what I mean? So right now, what we're looking at is as you just saw that it did move a little bit past my pre-market high. I got 754.35 right now. It's at 754.45. But what we're looking at, if it moves above 754.35, we generally gonna say that was it was heading the bullish direction. And if it pulled below 752.23, then we'll be looking at bearish. Now our key levels that we'll be looking for, if a SPY hold above 754.53.34 and break above 754.35 and stay above the VWAP, we're looking at upside targets of 756, 758, and 760. But if we fall below 752.23 and hold below that 753.34, because that'll be going back into yesterday's range, we will be looking at 751, 750, and 748.69. Now, what we want to do is if we want to see what happens if the buyers stay in control, and that'll be the momentum you'll be looking for, the volume staying up, and you'll be looking at higher highs and higher lows. You should be seeing that. And if that's the case and the buyers stay in control, then like I said, those targets we'll be looking for 756, 758, and 760. And if we get that rejection, off of these highs, we'll be looking for our entry around 754.35 and put our stop loss above 755.10. And we're going to target 751, 750, and 748.69. Now, our secondary setups is if we get a pullback, like right now, it's at 754.35. But if it pull back to the 753.35 area, where the high of the day from yesterday was, then we'll be looking at targets of 754.35, 756, and 758. And at the same time, if it pulls below 752.23 and it stays below and holds below that, then we're looking at 753.10, and our targets again, we'll be looking at 751, 750, and 748.69. Thought y'all gonna see some different numbers on that one. But nah, we're gonna stay in that range until it break back below those areas. And the reason for that is because support usually becomes resistance, and resistance usually becomes support. So as it coming back down, it has to break through these levels where we've had things happen, or the market has responded at these levels before we can go to even lower levels. So we'll be checking on that on the way down. But in the meantime, that's where we are for today. And that's our trade plan. As you can see, the market is steadily responding and going up. Right now, it's currently a little bit after 9 o'clock. So we're going to get this video on up. But I wanted to make sure it was as accurate as it could be. So you'll have some good information. So it won't be a waste of your time. But in the meantime, hey, stay disciplined. Follow your trade. This is not financial advice. But make you a trade plan and stick with it. And then we'll holler at you tomorrow, man. Power Plays Palace. We out.